Greetings and welcome to My Insurance Matters, a 5-minute weekly program designed to assist individuals and businesses manage their exposure to risk and make informed insurance decisions. My name is John Shega, and I am your host and the owner of Aspire Insurance Agency. This week, Wes Pruett, president of HR Advisors, joins us. HR Advisors works with businesses of all sizes to help address the wide variety of human resource issues. Before we begin, just a reminder that listeners are encouraged to send us any insurance-related questions or concerns by simply going to www.myinsurancematters.biz. Now let's get started. Welcome to the program, Wes.
Thanks, John. It's nice to be here.
Wes, there seems to be many human resource issues for employers to consider when managing people.
You're right. The list can be extensive, even for smaller businesses. I think it comes down to the fact that both the employer and employee depend on each other for many things. The better they are at working with each other, the more successful both will be.
Larger companies generally seem to have their own HR department. Are there any resources for the small employer?
Yes, there are. In Minnesota, a good resource is the Minnesota Small Business Assistance Office. They have some great resources, and many of them are free.
Regardless of the size of the employer, it seems like good communication between the employer and employee is a key ingredient. Would you agree with that, Wes?
Absolutely, John. I believe almost all issues, good and bad, can be traced back to communication.
So what suggestions might you have to get the communication process working?
Well, I have 3 that I would suggest employers consider. None of them are required by law, but highly recommended nonetheless.
Okay, Wes, let's talk about them right after a word from our sponsor.
Let the Smile Center put a smile on your face. Smile Center.
Our sponsor this week is the Smile Center. With offices across Minnesota and hours that include evenings and weekends, you'll be sure to find quality help that fits your schedule and pocketbook. So when you're in need of dental help, give the Smile Center a call. You'll be glad you did.
Smile Center.
Welcome back to My Insurance Matters. Before the break, we were discussing the importance of good communication between employers and employees. Our guest is Wes Pruett from HR Advisors, and he has 3 communication suggestions.
Well, the first is employee handbooks. Handbooks are a good way to clarify expectations and explain rules. It's a great place to talk about critical issues like attendance, drug use, and sexual harassment. Handbooks are excellent, but employers should remember if they aren't done correctly, they could actually increase your risk. The second suggestion is job descriptions. Employees want to know what is expected of them and why it is important to the company. Every company should have job descriptions. And finally, our accountabilities. By this, I mean measurable factors so both parties know if a job is getting completed.
Wes, could you give me an example of a measurable accountability?
Sure. Let's say a critical part of a person's job is data entry. If there's a way to validate if an entry is correct or not, the accountability might be something like this. 95% or greater accuracy exceeds plan. 80 to 95% accuracy meets plan, and below 80% accuracy would be below plan.
And who would set the parameters?
Well, John, the employer and employee should work together prior to performing the job. Again, the goal is to set parameters that are meaningful, reasonable, attainable, and measurable for all parties. Many people are scared about performance reviews just because of the uncertainty of the process. Having clear and measurable accountabilities takes out much of the guesswork.
So by implementing job accountabilities, both parties should know how the job is going at almost any time of the year.
Exactly. Again, both parties take ownership into the process, and outcome and changes can be made along the way. Clarifying expectations and holding employees accountable with objective measures will minimize many future issues.
I see. Sounds like some great ideas, Wes. Thanks for your time. If you have any questions about this segment of My Insurance Matters or any other issues related to insurance, just send us a note at www.myinsurancematters.biz. On behalf of Steve, our piano player, and our guest, Wes Pruett from HR Advisors, this is John Shega wishing you a safe and healthy week.